So I've seen a snippet of this already, but I know it's something to do about body count. But I didn't watch the whole video. But I guess she's going to defend it. But let's see. I guess the question was, does a woman's body count matter? Okay, let's listen.
Would you tell your man your real body count, or you?
To be honest, a real man is not going to ask a real woman her body count. It's not important. If you want to know about how many men I slept with in the past, so that can make you insecure, so that can make you feel like you're not enough, so that can make you feel like you're not great enough, that's on you. If you want to know, go ahead and ask. But I'm going to look at you differently afterwards, because what my past got to do with you and what we got going on in the future.
Would you tell your man?
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less than that answer from a girl that looks like that. So now, to be fair, she looks. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. She looks ran through. Like, I'm talking about, she look like I could look at her and already know that her body count is through the roof. I'm surprised. She's probably covering up a lot of tattoos. She probably got a tattoo on her back. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like, I've messed with a lot of girls that look like that. Unfortunately, her body count is through the roof. I already know that her body count is like, phew, you don't want to know. Now, to be fair to her, because I've seen a lot of people ripping on her. Look, damn near every woman you know, they're lying about their body count. You're never gonna know their true body count. You're never gonna know their true. If men, especially Americans, if American men knew most women's true body count, most of y'all would have been MGTOW. I'm just letting you guys know right now. I actually tell. I be telling dudes, people might not agree with this in the manosphere. I just tell people, you don't want to know. If you knew, because I know a woman's true body count out here. Trust me, you guys don't want to know. You guys do not want to know, because I will show you 3 women, right? And I'll be like, guess their body counts. You guys will never be able to guess it. And I'll say, you guys will look at some fat, out of shape looking girl. I'm talking about girl, she's built backwards, small legs and big upper body, and you think her body count is low. Trust me, it's not. You guys do not want to know what these ladies' true body counts are out there. Now let's revisit this video. I'll just dissect it a little bit, what she's saying.
A real body count, or you?
To be honest, a real man is not going to ask a real woman her body count.
Now, anytime a woman says a real man won't do this, you might as well just dismiss what she's going to say hereafter. Now, I will say this also. Men, if you're asking women what's your body count, you're not gonna get the true answer. You're only gonna get the true answer if she's like drunk or something, or she's high. And you get her drunk or high, and then you ask her then, and then it's gonna shock you. And even then, it's gonna be more. What men don't understand is this. This is why this channel is here. To the haters out here that act like my channel ain't shit, but this is why this channel is here. When it comes to body count, women do not count so many things, right? So if the guy's wearing a condom, she doesn't count it, right? One night stand, she doesn't count it. If it's a sexual experience with another woman, she doesn't count it. If it's just a blow job, she doesn't count it. If it's just a hand job, she doesn't count it, right? If it's a guy that she thought they were gonna go public with a relationship and it found out she got played, she's not gonna count it. If she's overseas, she doesn't count. She doesn't count it. She doesn't count the men in her whole phase. She doesn't count the dudes that she went to college with, right? There's so many. So you're never gonna get the true body count. I've done like live streams. I've done videos on this stuff when it comes to body count. Like guys, women don't count. So when she's using her pussy to pay rent, right, or to pay her car bill, or to get her plumbing fixed, right, or she doesn't have the money to get her electricity done or something, and she's using her body like that. When she's selling her body, she doesn't count it. When she's selling it to her sugar daddy, she doesn't count. I'm telling you, I've seen Christian girls, so-called Christian girls, talk about their body count. These are grown women too, like in their late 30s, talking about joking about how their body count resets every or if they get a BBL, it resets. So you're never going to get the true body count. They're always going to say some number that doesn't seem that bad. They'll say 3, or it's only 5 or 7. I've only been with 2 other dudes. A number that doesn't sound bad to you. Some round number. You know what I mean? So let's continue.
Not important. If you want to know about how many men I slept with in the past, so that can make you insecure, so that can make you feel like you're not enough.
Yeah, insecure. So yeah, so all the damn. She used all the shaming language in this one. Insecure. You not a real man. Like I'll say this. Unfortunately, girls like this are easily played. Um, but girls like that, you just have fun with them, but just don't, um, just don't expect that this is a relationship material. Don't expect by just being a real man and accepting her for who she is, she's going to use that back in your face. Like when you look at the situation with the former NBA player Joe Smith. Joe Smith's a perfect example when he was just like, yo, why are you doing this? Why are you putting yourself back out in the streets? And she was like, you knew who I was. You knew who I was when you got me. So Joe Smith was secure. Joe Smith took on a porn star with crazy body count, right? But he was secure enough, gave her the life and whatnot. But when it came down to it, she didn't even respect him for accepting her. You know what I mean? So you can't fall for the shaming language. You got to stand on your principles. Now, like I said, a girl like she didn't admit that she had a high body count, but by that answer you can tell she had a high body count. But I'm telling you, she's not the only one. She is not the only one. She just, unfortunately, her eyes can't lie, and unfortunately she's a straggle, so she can't really hide her baggage that well, like say like a Caucasian woman can.
Make you feel like you're not great enough. That's on you. If you want to know, go ahead and ask, but I'm gonna look at you differently afterwards because my past got to do with you and what we got going on in the future.
So yeah, but I'm gonna say, like, she's not the only one. Now, also another thing which I don't understand why women say this stuff, like my past don't matter. Oh wow, Rico Hundo's the top comment. Oh, right here. So right here, Rico Hundo said it. He said LMFAO. So if a man was a convicted sex offender and he never told you because his past got nothing to do with you, that should be okay based on your logic. And that's the logic I always use when people keep talking about my past shouldn't matter. I'm like, yes, it should. But like I said, especially when it comes to body count or just having sex, like if she regrets it, she won't count it too. That's another thing. Like when you look at when they asked Meg Thee Stallion, when Gayle King asked Meg Thee Stallion, hey yo, did you have sex with Tory? Or basically, when's the last time you had sex with Tory? And she's like, oh, we never slept with. And everybody's like, stop lying. And then it gets put on blast during court that obviously they've had sex. It was obvious. Now, her response was like, why all y'all up in my business? I'm like, because you're a liar. And anyway, so Delish, the Love and Hip Hop star, I think that's her name, Delish, the 45-year-old that still try to act like she's 20. So she came to Meg Thee Stallion's defense and basically proved all of us in the RP right. She literally said this verbatim. I shit you not. She said, nah, you guys got to leave Meg Thee Stallion alone because I'm the same way. If I didn't like it, if I wasn't feeling it, nope, it didn't happen. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. I'm like, what do you mean it didn't happen? You had, in her mind, if I didn't like it, it didn't happen. Nope. I've heard women say, if I didn't orgasm, it don't count. I'll tell you, and that's just how. And you're like, damn, these people are allowed to vote. You know what I mean? That's how women's brain work. In their mind, that makes sense in a woman's mind. You know what I mean? He said, y'all need to ask about that STD screening before a body count. And that's why I always tell people, this is why I really am strong, because you'll hear women say, oh, this don't count. I'm like, okay, we'll take your word for it. What do you think about mandatory paternity tests? Oh, no. But like I said, body count don't matter, so it should. And then this is where they prove that it does matter. Because you bring up just the word paternity test will send shockwaves. And what's interesting when it comes to paternity tests, it don't matter if they're a Christian, it don't matter if they're a Muslim, it don't matter if they're atheist, it don't matter if they're a dyke bitch, all of these bitches. Once they hear paternity test, they just be like, they be convicted. It's like holy water. People like to complain about modern times. I don't, because back in the day, I mean, that must have been a nightmare. Just hoping that woman ain't sleeping around, ain't fucking around on you, because there's no way for you to tell if that's your actual kid. There's no way. Now with the modern technology, you can't hide from science. That's the beautiful thing. I remember talking to this so-called open girl, right? don't ever believe these 304s. They talking about how she's in an open relationship and her man allows this and that. And I'm like, okay, cool. What's your opinion on mandatory paternity tests? Would you be in favor of that? And then the shuffling started happening. I'm like, you can't make this up. All for progressive, all for moving forward. Men need to do, except when it comes to paternity tests. That's very interesting. It's always very interesting to me, man. I bet you, let me tell you this. I bet you this. I could give a bitch the deal of a lifetime and be like, yo, I'll marry you. You can even have half. You can have, fuck it. You can have 70% of what I have if you decide to break up with me after a certain point, after 2 or 3 years. You can have my car. Only thing is this. Every kid that comes out of you, paternity test for each one. You know what? You'll be shocked. Most women will not take that deal just because of the paternity clause in the prenup. I promise you, most women will not take that deal, and it shows you how much women be fucking around out here because it should not be a problem. I'm sorry. People talk about what's a good woman. A good woman is not going to hide from a paternity test, and they understand the paternity test is it's not about whether or not you be unfaithful or not. It's just the ease, the peace of mind you give your male counterpart, so he doesn't have to worry about that shit. But like I said, you'd be surprised. A lot of women, even the so-called conservative women, won't even take that deal. She said, "I'm gonna just say an outrageous number every time. Leave me alone." Like I said, like a woman's not gonna give you her real body count. He said, anyone who gives an answer this in depth definitely has a high body count. Oh yeah, somebody did say, I remember this. Somebody did say so the woman here, she has an OnlyFans. So of course her body count's like in the 4-digit range. Let's keep it a buck. And she's probably sold her pussy on the side too. So she's definitely like, that's like for her, she's definitely in the 3-digit range. For me, I think she's in the 4-digit range. And people think that's impossible, but it's not. I know women that you guys might think is a normal girl, but I'm talking about in 1 week, racked up like 10 dudes because she had a train ran on her, right? But like, oh yeah, if they get trains ran on them, they don't count it, right? I've heard women say that. So she had a train ran on her, and then she had another 2 athletes go in on her. Hopefully people are now putting 2 and 2 together. If people know who I am, she had a train run, 2 athletes. She had that's 2 trains. I always think about it as 2. So that's 2 trains. But the first train, it was like more than like 5 people, right? So she had that, and then the 2, and then on top of that, back to her boyfriend, then right back to school, and then probably like 2 other people, and it was like in a span of like 7 days. So like I know girls that can literally rack up 20 in just a month. So trust me, there's women out there that can get in people might be shocked. There are a lot of women that are in the 4-digit range. People might disagree with me on that, but I believe her. People will like the normal average citizen will say, okay, she's in the 3-digit range. I think she's in the 4-digit range. She's definitely in the 4-digit range. But yeah, I remember somebody did say she does have an OnlyFans. So you see here, the comment just says she does Twitter porn. He said, I do not care. It's my turn. Come on. You just have a fun that doesn't stop. Like, that's not going to stop me from having a fun time with her for like a couple of days or 2. And then once you get tired of the pussy, just move on. Pay her and make sure she's paid off. That's what I would do with somebody like that. Just smash one time and just pray for forgiveness later, like Corey Holcomb would say.